Welcome back, guys, to Expand Podcast with your host, Omar, and co host, JP, where we are going to be discussing our journey through a pretty cool event, the challenges that we face in our business, and hopefully sharing these challenges that we face. It's going to help you guys understand what your next move is going to be. And hopefully, if you're facing those challenges as well, we're right there with you. So we know exactly what's happening and what you're going through. And, we're going to be discussing all kinds of stuff, our journey to Vegas, our conversations when we got there, the challenge that we face, health wise, because all of a sudden, we are faced with a few things that kind of limited us to playing full out, but we still did. So that was pretty cool. So I appreciate you guys joining, and we're getting a lot of cool feedback from everybody that's listening to our podcast, and just having a cool conversation about life and about business and about relationships and about everything that we go through, as individuals, as entrepreneurs, as not employed type of people or individuals. So what we go out there and do, we're not guaranteed any income, so it makes it challenging in general. So we just want to say thank you. And if you guys are new to the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like our podcast, share it, and message us in there, and we do our best to respond back to you. So let's get started to discuss what's happening lately. First and foremost,
Back.
we're back. It was 4 or 5 days of just complete, I would say, information overload. And yeah, let's break it all down from last week, where we had our buyer group meeting, which was on Tuesday. And then we ended up leaving later on that afternoon or later on that evening. Yeah, let's talk about our whole journey and what did you get out of it, and then we can go over what I got out of it, and on the things that you got to do to like move that needle forward. So
I think the biggest thing of course, you get a lot of like business nuggets within your operation that are tactical.
right,
But I think the biggest thing that I took away from the conference overall just was like faith.
faith, family. But before we get into that part of it, let the listeners and the viewers know like that process of like leaving late on that Tuesday night
Oh
to
yeah,
get ready, like that whole like take them on that journey real quick.
Tuesday, my schedule doesn't change just because we're going to WealthCon. So I'm still gonna get up at 4 in the morning, go to the gym, be there by 5, go through the normal morning routine, be here by 9 a.m. Then we had our team meeting with the buyer group and basically just went over how to get better at our conversations, our communication, providing more solutions for our sellers, and also, making sure everything is taken care of because we're not going to be here for the rest of the week. So Tuesday was a jam-packed day,
For
of
sure.
course. And then, you go home, shower, change, and then we're on the road by like 10:30 p.m.
PM. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we got to Vegas in like 2.5 hours. But I mean, the car ride there, we've had some really good conversations about like what we just wanted to get out of the event and what we wanted to be able to, I guess you could say, be open to receiving.
Mhm.
So I'd say on like a spiritual and emotional level, it was just a very moving week when it comes to how I would look at it.
Yeah. And I was hoping for more elaboration from you, bro, but it's
On what
okay.
aaspect though?
No, it's okay. It's good. It's good. I
No,
mean,
no, I want to
this
hear. I
is
can elaborate, but I'm
no,
like
no.
give like
Well,
a
check
summary.
this out though. Like, yeah, everybody wants a summary. You can buy a Cliff Note version of a book and get the summary, but it's not the book, if that makes sense. So, on that Tuesday when we left, you know, we weren't feeling as best as we could be feeling.
You know why I didn't elaborate on that? Because I just ignore it.
Okay, right.
But
Ignore
we
it. Sure.
guys were feeling like shit.
It,
I was sick for a complete week. For some reason, that same day that we were leaving, you caught the sniffles, the allergies.
out sniffles.
And Alex Hernandez, one of our team members, was, also feeling completely obliterated. So yeah, I mean, I think that made it challenging a lot just because, now we're not in our home environment. We're
Right.
in Vegas, out of our normal routine.
Hmm.
And on top of that, our immune system is being attacked.
Yeah, it was
So,
brutal, man. I mean,
yeah,
it was day one. When we get there, by the time we settle in and we get ready for bed, it's 2:30 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning, and we got to be up at 5:36 ish to get registered, to be in the room first, because there's something to say about being in the room first. Because if you're up and ready and you're down there or wherever the conference is at, and if you're able to get in that front row, you want to. Why? Because that's where most growth happens. My opinion, if you're in the front row or the second row, that's where most growth happens, because you're forced to pay attention.
it's like that one story is like just being the first person in the room. I don't want to get off track, but I have to add this story. This was like some 2004 Olympics with the basketball team, but I think it was Tim Duncan got up at 4 o'clock in the morning because he wanted to like wake up before Kobe Bryant,
Hmm.
do a workout before their team workout. But when he got downstairs at 4 a.m. to work out, Kobe was already leaving because he finished his first workout. So, there's like a different standard you set when you're like the first person in the room.
Right.
You're up, you're ready, you have your outfit on, you're in the front row, you already got your coffee. Like preparation sets a really, really big standard, not just for yourself, but to people that you present yourselves to.
100%, because they see us like, wow, you guys got up, you're ready, you're one of the first people in here, and we secured our seats in the very front. Then we went out and networked and talked and, figured out like, okay, who's who we're going to meet, who's going to move the needle forward for us, meaning conversations and meaningful conversations, I should say. And it was cool. It's like we got there, and we didn't feel that we only had 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then our breakfast of champions was, our BCA, Celsius drink and a shot of tequila to kill whatever we had in us in the morning.
Yeah, it
And
was brutal.
it was brutal, but it got us through it. And that first day was pretty spectacular. There was a lot of business and psychology happening on day one, and just getting better with understanding people and understanding where we need to meet them at, not necessarily drive them or guide them, but if we meet where they're at, now we can hold hands and get you through that promised land, whatever that promised land is, whether it's selling a house, whether it's purchasing a property, whether it's helping a buyer, whether it's selling your course, whether it's anything. It doesn't matter. It just means that, when we provide more solutions for people, we get on their level.
I think
And I think that's the biggest, it was one of the biggest takeaways for me
to
day
add
one.
to that, though, I think, yeah, we provide a lot of solutions to people, but the biggest thing that I learned from the psychology aspect is you have to know when to provide that solution. Because people hear a problem on the phone and they instantly say or convey to the seller, "Oh, this is how I can help you."
Right.
When they haven't opened that gap big enough to
Find out what their pain is.
find
Yeah.
out what the pain is, to build that trust, build
Mhm.
that, relationship. So on the sales and psychology aspect, I think day one was extremely powerful with um Jeremy Miner, I believe his
Yeah.
name is.
Great
Uh
sales coach.
yeah, yeah, great sales coach. I've actually, been watching a lot of his videos this week to implement with our team on our meetings because the psychology aspect of the conversation is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you guys heard that in the background.
All good.
But yeah, no, I mean, day one was awesome when it comes to that aspect because I love communication, not
Hmm.
just in the aspect of talking to people that, we're trying to close, but communicating with
Trying
my
to help.
team.
Trying to help. Not trying to close,
Well,
because
if I'm closing you, I'm helping you. All right. No, I'm just
okay.
kidding.
No.
I'm just
I
kidding.
just had to say, you know, yes, without closing anyone, we're not going to be able to help them get to their next chapter. Right.
100%. But the communication aspect, that's something I'm very passionate about that I express with you a lot as well. So that it was a lot of power in day one,
It was.
regardless of how we felt. And that's why I said I didn't really touch on that because I kind of just ignored everything, you know?
Well, yeah, because we kind of have to, right? I mean,
Be where your feet are, like
eh,
Andy Elliott says.
all the time, be where your feet are for sure. And, just goes to show you that, sales is 80%, 90% psychology, 10, 20% skill. And there's people that will say it's 80-20, it could be 90-10. But honestly, it is heavier weight on the psychology side of it, and I think that if you focus and you work on you, on becoming a better delivery of the message, or be able to convey that message a little clearer, and then literally shut your mouth and listen and ask questions that will allow you to stop talking so they can start conveying how they're feeling.
Question: can one person become an effective communicator without working on themselves as a
Abs-
person?
okay, that's a big question. And I feel that if you work on yourself more, you're automatically going to start learning how to listen more.
Because you don't have like false emotions attached to things. You worked on the
Exactly.
ego. You worked on expectations, XYZ.
And it's a continuous thing because all of us have a bit of an edge. All of us have a bit of a chip on our shoulder. And sometimes it's construed into ego, or it's too confident, or, oh, no, I know where to take you, or I know how to start your next chapter. Just listen to me. Right. Because all of us feel this energy when we are trying to convey a message. But if we work on ourselves a little bit more, which is an ongoing thing, then it probably makes our conversations that much stronger. Why?
More connection, deeper
100%. Yep.
relationships. You're able to be more authentic. Yeah.
And it's that you're going to be able to be more authentic, but at the same time, the person that you're talking to feels that I can let my wall down. This guy's he's actually cares about me and wants to find out how he can better help me.
You want to get better on the phones? Combine personal development with sales psychology.
Yeah. And if you're not working on yourself all the time, then somebody else is, probably more so than you are, and they're probably going to be that much more successful because they spend the time on themselves first. And guys, we're not like the pros at all, because we're figuring this out too. So if you're listening, it's like, oh yeah, JP and Omar, we do so much for ourselves. Yeah, but guess what? I don't mind investing in myself. And that's the thing with a lot of people, they don't want to invest in themselves because they already think they know it. And that's the crazy fucking part right there to me, is that you're always a student, but at the same time, it's like you're a student with people that are doing more and are touching more lives than you are.
I think that should just be in all aspects of life, not just business. You know,
No.
like how can I always continue to learn more and be around people that are doing more than me?
Right.
Not just the business aspect, but when it comes to life, because there's people that have happier families than you. There's people that have better relationships than you.
And they probably have half of the
There's
income.
people that are better fathers, better mothers, better
Of
brothers, better
course.
sisters. So
Define that though. You know?
yeah, I mean, it's all to what your
It's perspective.
prerogative
Yeah.
definition is, right? But I assume the only reason you would assume that it's better is because you're attracted to it, and it's something
True.
that you would want to move towards.
True.
But yeah, not just applied to like business, but I think when it comes to investing in yourself, you should want to be around just good people.
Yeah.
Go get therapy, like go to church, go talk to like a
Someone.
group of people that are dealing with the same issues that you are. Yeah, get the business coaching. Yeah, get, the mentors and pay for all of the courses. But if you're not working on like all that stuff you have inside as a person, I think it's going to eventually bleed through into your relationships and business. And people wonder why they never excel anywhere.
Yeah.
Not saying that I have, but I have the awareness because I've seen a lot of people make those mistakes.
Right. See, having that awareness is something that, like, you have to okay, you cannot be self-aware of what you're going through and what you need to work on if you think that you already made it. If you think that you already have the information that you need to get to point B. And if anything, it's like remove your ego to allow the awareness of what you're going through to be born, like to be front and center. Like, damn, I got to work on that. But it takes you to like say, to tell yourself, like, I don't know shit, man. All right. Okay. I'm self aware of what I need to change.
It's humility. I think people are like afraid of that humility aspect, not realizing
Everybody is. Everybody is.
yeah, but when you
To
really
an extent,
when
bro.
you really
For,
think
for sure.
for sure 100 you're right, but when you really think about it, it's really really I'm not going to say dumb, but yeah, honestly no, it is dumb to be afraid of humility because think about for a second when you let people know that hey, I don't know this, you know? I'm open to information. I believe that there's a better way I can do something.
Mhm.
You're never really going to get a bad response when you say
No,
that.
no, because
And the
you're
person that
having
does
your
know
self conviction.
yeah, and the person that does essentially know more than you or has gone through, you know, the weaves and has earned his scars, he's going to want to help you to prevent you from going through all of the pain and, you know, preventing the mistakes that he made.
Providing you're open to it.
That I think goes back to personal development.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, guys, it's like this is one of those things where, um, we try to set our standard higher every time. And if it's 1% higher than it was 3 months ago, great. I mean, everybody always says this whole get 1% better every day.
That's
But that's
365% a
And
year.
then this is exactly, and that's what I said before. It's like, okay, get 1% better every day. And if you really were to do that, everybody is in there. Everybody right now in 12 months would 3x their personal life, their health, their financial life, their relationship life. That is not normal. Like I want to say it would be
It can
normal. It can
happen.
happen, but it's not realistic. Okay, so that's why when I said if you're better 1 or 2 or 3 or 10% better every quarter, okay, it's something, right? You're moving in the trajectory the right way, and without the personal development, um, you're probably stagnant. No, I actually no, I know you're stagnant because if you're not feeding your mind and your brain on how to become better and have better relationships and value the relationships that you already have and create that like that deeper connection. Like JP and I, we have our discussions and shit, and I think our relationship is better every single time that we go through something because we're self aware of what we need to fix within ourselves. And that's the biggest thing. And that's, day one was a lot of personal stuff, right? Day two, day two was just off the chart for me. And I want to talk about it a little bit. And, you know, I was I was I was raised through faith, my Holy Communion, I did catechism and I did my confirmation as a kid. Catholic, we were raised Catholic, my dad, and we'd go to church every Sunday. Not saying that that is, what you need to do, but that's how I was raised. And
Before you go into that, the day two, in the morning, they WealthCon
yeah,
did a service with Tim Ross where he basically gave a story on David and Goliath, and of course faith based. You know, we're basing everything off of the Bible, so
whether
that
you whether you listen to whether you read the Bible or you don't, or you're a believer or you're not, it doesn't matter because this is our show and I'm talking about.
yeah, and I mean at the end of the day, just I mean remove the Bible and Christianity from it, right? I think anyone can apply this to their
Eh,
life.
Yes, because you have to be willing to listen to it though too.
Yeah,
So, give you the context, sorry JP, but the this avenue, we showed up. I believe that everything that you hear in your life and if you're around the people that you need to be around will hit you at a certain time. Because if you are around people and you're not ready for it, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Because it doesn't matter what I tell you, what JP tells you, what your mom tells you, what your dad tells you, what the coach tells you. It doesn't matter until you're ready to hear it. And that morning, you know, we were a little bit late. We had some breakfast and then we strolled in about 15 or 20 minutes late on because it started at 8:30. We got there at 8:45 or so, 8:50, and we went straight to our seats. And literally, we sat. We put our stuff down, and then all we did was just we were there, where our feet were at. And because we did that, I feel that you, Lex, myself, we took something out of it that could not be duplicated, and because we were there, and with the scripture about David and Goliath, it brought something more, that all of us are facing our own giants, right? Goliath was a giant. David was this small little guy with no army, one person. And that's us, right? That's us, because we're fighting the fight every single day. And our giants are different. JP's giant is different, but we have multiple giants in our industry. We have multiple giants in our relationships, in the way we carry ourselves. And that was needed to be heard by me, at least. I'll let JP do his thing and explain how he took it. But I just felt like the giants were everywhere. Because if you feel like you're conquering that giant, well, that's cool. You conquered him. But guess what?
Not up to you to conquer.
Nope, it's not. And that person could get back up again, or that giant can get reformed into something else. But if you focus on not you, if you allow, whatever faith that you believe in, I'm going to say God, to kill your giant, well, guess what happens? You've given yourself up a little bit to allow someone else to help you, because it wasn't your giant to kill. You conquered him. But because you have that faith in you, guess what ends up happening? That faith that you believe in just killed the giant for you, because that was him, for him to kill. And there's so much that you could take from this, whether you're a believer or not, that all of us are facing giants in our business, in our relationships, in the way we talk to people, and how we convey, in how we perceive people's issues. And all of us, I think that everyone that's listening or watching, I'm talking to you 100%. Because right now you're dealing with something that you probably don't know how to create, or how to remove it from your life. And it was so powerful that it made me think about my dad. My dad came to visit me. God rest his soul. He passed away in 2020. And I felt him with me that morning. And because I felt him with me that morning, I'm like, hey, like, I got all these things I got to kill, and it's been, really pissing me off, and I can't find the ending. I can't find the light, right? We're going all through that tunnel, and we hope that light at the end of the tunnel isn't a fucking train coming at you, but it's actually the light that you need to keep going. And that's, I mean, honestly, along with, getting super emotional and having my own self-conviction coming out and being there on that Thursday morning, set the stage for the rest of the day. And I'm sure that everybody that's listening, you guys been there, done that, when you guys get emotionally taken over, or if you just become emotional. And we're guys, we don't get emotional. Like, I fucking don't, right? I'm like, no, we got to keep moving, push the pace. It's this, that, and the other, right? Our ego is talking, right? But that minute, I was like, hey, or that experience was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna let whatever needs to happen, whatever self-conviction that you're going through needs to get released. And that's what ended up happening. I released it. I felt my dad's presence, and it pushed me through. And I was like, after that, after the message, because it was a message. Like, right now, today, this could be the message for you. You didn't have to be there on Thursday. We're trying to relive it for you. And that's my piece. Like, I received that message exactly when I needed it, how I needed it, how it was conveyed, how I perceived it. And it was fucking awesome. Just straight fucking awesome. And super emotional. Um, but yeah, that was my take on it. And that was on Thursday morning, and JP's gonna say it how he took it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. When it comes down to that whole story of David and Goliath, that was my first time ever hearing it. Um, and when it comes to killing, not conquering, it was a huge mindset shift for me. And the way that I could break it down is this for myself, right? I have a certain person that I want to become within the next 30 years when it comes to me being a father, me being a family man, and all of these things that I essentially picture myself to be within the next 30 years, let's just call it. But that's me essentially conquering something, right?
Right,
We
right.
just kind of get like focused on the end picture, not realizing we have all of these things to kill in front of us.
Kill. Exactly.
And it's kind of like having, a destination in mind, but not turning the GPS on when the GPS is doing the killing. And the conquering is just going to be done by itself because that's God's plan.
Because you're taking the path. Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, biggest thing that I took away from, the whole kill, not conquer is there's this version and this idea that I have my life that I want to be, right? When
Right.
it comes to how I want it to look. But who's to say that that's what the plan is supposed to be?
Correct.
And I know that if I just focus on every single day killing my giants when it comes to everything within the business, the phone calls, the appointments, the trainings,
Yeah.
when it comes to my personal life, my health, my fitness, my faith, my spirituality, my relationship with my family. If I could just kill those giants every single day, God's plan is going to be far, far greater than my own personal.
100%.
So I just need to
Realization.
conquer or kill, 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 kill. And what I originally imagined to conquer, me and God will conquer 10x that
Correct.
together because
Because
I just focused on the activity and I allowed Him to place me where I needed to be.
perfect.
That's what I took away from Kill Not Conquer. And I want to add something about what you said earlier that you're only going to be open to receiving the message when you receive it.
When you're ready to receive it.
Yes, there's another thing to that though, and I can attest to this and I lived through it. I've seen Ed Milet speak 7 different times.
We're not there yet, but yeah.
No, I just wanted,
Okay, okay,
I've
okay.
seen Ed Milet speak 7 different times. And the message that was received from him was never, ever received the way that I received it that day. And the reason being was like, because I asked myself, like, I have a pretty high sense of awareness.
Mm.
What caused me to receive it differently now than me receiving it all of these other times when I was at events with different people?
Right.
Think about what I just said.
Different people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be at those events. Yeah, listen to these people. But the person you're sitting next to in the chair
Has a lot to do with it, man.
also has a lot to freaking do with it. And the only reason I was able to receive that message from Ed Milet the way I was is because I was sitting next to you and I was sitting next to Lex, 2 people that I'm in alignment with when it comes to my goals, my vision, our morals, our values, and what we want out of our life. All those other times I was at these events, I was not in alignment with the people around me. So how am I supposed to be in alignment with the speaker that's
So
delivering
good.
the message?
You
I just
can't.
want to, yeah, I just couldn't let that thought go. Had to have that.
No, and that's spot on because honestly, like, again, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that I like to go to these events I like to go to events to learn more, right? To feel inspired, to get inspired, to understand a little bit more about what we go through. But this event was, to me, it was more of a faith-driven event after Thursday, and maybe it was even on Wednesday, right? Because it's his path. It's hey, we're here. Let's go. We're gonna see what we're gonna, what kind of message we're gonna be receiving, and that's the cool part about this is that I'm. It was just awesome, and now that I've taken away this and I got to share moments with you too, after the message in the morning, um, I've realized that whatever faith is to you, whatever your family is to you, whatever your finances are to you, however fitness is to you, all these things, faith, family, fitness, finances, all those things combined, will equal your future on where you're going to be going. And I think there's a reason why faith's on the very top, because if you don't have any, I'm sorry,
If
like
you don't have nothing to
it,
believe
it,
in,
it
what do you?
like what are you doing? And you know, again, everybody believes in something. Okay, either you believe you're going to do it or you're not, right? And that's the normal way of thinking. But if you have some other stronger force
That you're
where
relying
that
on.
you're exactly,
You can't
because
lean on your own understanding.
you cannot do it alone. You can't. And I hate to say that because we're so programmed. Oh, we can do it ourselves. We can do it ourselves. But honestly, you know what's crazy? Every day down the stairs at my old house, there is a little saying that we have walking down the stairs, and it's perfect for right now. It says, when you feel that life is giving up on you, kneel. When you feel that life's given up on you, kneel. And imagine if you just remove yourself from all the bullshit that you're thinking that you're going to go through right now, and kneel. Because guess what? You're asking for help. And all of us ask for help. We really do. And I just thought about that right now, because it's like I picture myself in my old house walking down the stairs, and you know, we brought Gianna in, we brought Mila, which is our two daughters, and I bought the house in essence for my oldest daughter, Savannah Monet, and it's like there were so many memories there, and I did feel many times that what the f is life doing to me? Like, why is life treating me this way? Instead of saying, life's treating me this way so I can become more. And then I see that to say that, hey, listen, you can kneel. It's okay. You can ask for some help. Because if everybody that's listening, you've never asked for help, you're fucking dumb. Straight up. You're dumb. You're asking for help in business. You're asking for help. How do I do this? How do I fill out this contract? How do I talk to that person? What should I say here? What should I say there? And at that point, why not ask a little bit more? And you don't even have to be a complete believer, but shit, like, have some faith in you and have some faith in what you can accomplish. And trust me, after feeling this, like, you can literally kill anything. You can conquer anything, providing you allow a little bit of help in. And yeah, man, it's just sorry, I went on a tangent there, and I just, it's something that did strike a chord.
Do you think you understand that now, though, when you're going through challenging times?
Yes,
I was,
100%.
I remember I was going through like we all still go through seasons, but specifically like 4 to 5 months ago, I was just feeling like, fuck am I doing, dude? What is going on?
All the time.
Like what
Yeah.
is really going on? And it's funny you say kneel, because I actually pray on my knees every single morning.
Yeah.
I started doing that because I feel like it just makes me more vulnerable.
It does.
Like being submissive to God, or whatever you believe in, a higher power, to just allow Him to help me in any sort of way. And I think this year was the first time that I went through hard times, and I understood that I had to go through this, because I've been assigned this mountain to show others it can be moved.
That's right. That's right.
And I think once you tap into that mindset, and you really are locked in with your faith, you're starting to put your family first, you're killing all of those giants in your business, your finances, your future starts to line up in a way that you could never imagine, because you're so focused on killing. God is conquering a lot more for you already than you could have on your own.
100%. And it's funny, you just have to let him in a little bit, or let whoever, any other higher power that you believe in.
For those atheists out there, I know this podcast is not going to be for you.
Nope, and you'll probably turn it off, but it's okay because you still need fucking help too.
Yeah, no, we all need help. But I mean, going back to just what we're talking about, I think faith is very, very important. Tie whatever religion you want to it, but you need something to believe in that
Mhm.
allows you to be a better person.
Simple. It's simple, man, but it's like so difficult at times.
What's the
And
best? Let's go in. I want to go and add my light a little bit on your
yeah,
aspect of it.
um,
I know that
it,
was,
go ahead.
yeah, I know that was a very moving topic for him, or that he talks about, that you're
Yeah.
able to resonate with, just due to the fact that he lost his
Hmm.
father in the recent years, and of course you did as well during 2020. What essential message were you able to take away from just Ed and the impact that was left, and you want to continue to leave? Because I think it's all
Yeah.
about impact.
No, it's about the legacy, about the impact, about you know how are you showing up, and
Who are you showing up for?
who are you showing up for is great because you know that Thursday morning, man, we were on a different level completely.
All
And
the
then
endorphins are running super high.
we're feeling everything. I'll say it, I'm an emotional little person right now, and that day I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to let it flow. I was thinking about my daughter, thinking about, you know, my oldest daughter, my 3-year old, my 1-year old, and and then being there in this environment and getting ready for Ed, and his message resonated with me so much because he lost his father, um and that whole aspect of his process, going through it all and having the picture of you know his outfit, the last outfits, the outfits he was wearing, that he wanted to be like he honestly, his dad was his biggest fan. And as far as Ed looked at his dad as like his model, like his hero. And that was my pops. And I pulled up my phone, looked at the screenshot of the FaceTime because I didn't get to spend the last breaths with my dad. My brother did. And yeah, it's shitty. You know, um not to get emotional and shit, but it's one of those things where I wish I could have done it differently. And I think that's probably why it felt so hard. And only a few people know, man, that I was not there to experience the last breaths of my dad. I got to see him, got to talk to him via FaceTime, screenshotted his one of his last breaths, and it eats you every fucking day. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like if you miss someone, if if you lost someone and you weren't there with him and he was your hero, you'd be pretty fucking distraught too. And it literally hit me so hard, JP. And I remember, um, you know, just not wanting to break down, felt the emotion, didn't want other people looking at me, and I'm just sitting here like, fuck, dude. All right, just here it goes. Like, let's go. Like, I miss you, Dad. Sorry, because then you start blaming yourself a
Yeah.
little bit too, and
Let me
it,
ask you something though, and I think this is
yeah,
the biggest indicator that lies out of what you're able to make. How are you going to turn that into something beautiful? Like, what are you going
you
to
know
take away
what?
from that day that you're going to go instill in others?
I want
Because
my kids to be. I want my kids to think that I'm their hero.
this is
Good.
good. This is good.
Yeah, that would be it right there.
I think when you have reasons like that, you have no other option but to go kill every single day, right?
Oh yeah, no, you got to conquer, and then God will help you kill everything else that's coming at you. So, yeah, I mean, so it was impactful, and it was I was just there, you know. Trust me, it pisses me off for me not being there with my pops, but hey, it is what it is, guys. Um, what's crazy is like life keeps going, life keeps moving, regardless of what the hell you do. You can lose someone tomorrow, and tomorrow somebody else is showing up to work like nothing happened. And that's what's crazy cold about this life that we live one time. That you need to play fucking full out. You got to play bigger. You got to go impact more people. You got to go help more people. You got to inspire them, educate them somehow, expand how they think. You got to figure all that shit out. And that day, that whole day impacted me, and it's still affecting me in a
Trickling through
great.
you.
It's driving me.
Yeah, because it's an emotional drive that you're feeling, and the way that I see it is this is a small gym analogy that I'll use. Everyone goes for like that 1 rep max, every single now and then
Yeah,
to see what's the max amount of weight they can push on that given rep.
fucking one more, man.
You should treat every single day like it's your 1 rep max. This is
Did you empty the tank?
I gotta empty the tank. I gotta go all out. I gotta leave absolutely everything on the table because I got, someone like Omar, 3 daughters relying on me to be someone great. So everyone else does too, looking on the screen. I don't have a family yet, but I'm able to create these reasons within my head that allow me to drive towards that. And my biggest goal is to be a dad one day,
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't have kids, but I think about it and that's what drives me towards this vision. So with Omar, I think you just being more aligned with your purpose this
Mhm.
past week has been the biggest.
Oh my gosh, like hands down. I mean, the biggest change. I mean, I took my daughter to school today and yesterday, and it's like the best feeling in the world. Alyssa used to just take. Normally, she takes her, but I wanted to the last couple of days, and and I'm going to, and it's just because I like that's that. There are the things that you need to do so you can become that hero for them. But the other thing I'll add is that we dream so much of becoming great, and we dream so much of making an impact. We dream so much of like leaving a legacy. But then we settle, and then you're sitting there looking at your kids and you're just like, did I do everything possible to become great for them?
Yeah, you
And my
can't.
dad, no bullshit, man. My dad felt that he did everything he could to be the greatest dad to all of us. And that's what was fucking tight. That's probably why it affects me, and that's why it drives me.
Because you
It
saw him truly chase
Yes,
his
man.
dreams. And
Whether it's a mini dream to someone or a big dream to somebody else.
and what's crazy is I know a lot of people have heard this, but parents nowadays tell their kids that they can be anything they want in this world, but the kid simply turns around and says, "Well, why didn't you?"
And then that just kills you. Like
Think
why didn't
about
why
that.
didn't you
Like
do it more?
avoid that fucking question 10, 15 years from
Yeah,
now.
that's crazy.
You know, you tell your kids, "Oh, you can be anything you want in this world." They're not going to do as you say, they're going to do as you do,
Hmm.
you know? So, what type of legacy are you leaving behind? To add to that.
Yeah. No, I want to hear your I want to hear your thought on
No, yeah, no,
admiring
I
that
just
too, bro.
I'll keep it quick cuz I have like a good understanding of what I was able to take away from.
From the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Ed Milet's message, I don't want to go into like the personal stuff. I just realized that there's been times in my life where if I had a better awareness of things, I would have acted differently on it. But of course, things happen exactly as the way they should. And all I can do is use those reasons to my advantage.
Right.
But overall, on the topic of just, you know, I guess you could say that external factor that we're all trying to drive ourselves towards. Look inward first, man. That's all I could say. look inward first, and everything on the external is going to take care of itself. The biggest changes happened for me in my life within the past 3 years, especially the past year. But that happened when I destroyed my own ego. I destroyed my own wall, you know, all of my preconceived notions that I had of life. And just, truly was able to be connected to who I am and what I want. And then you'll know what you have to kill.
Spot on. That internal work. Hey guys, it's not easy. It fucking hurts. It's challenging. But what do we talk about? Like, if you're not going to get challenged in something, then why even do anything? Like, you got to get challenged. And this is a big challenge for a lot of people that are listening. The challenge for myself. I mean, if you guys sat back and looked at it all, I'm 44 years old. JP's 24. And he knows this now because he's allowed knowledge to come in, and he's allowed his ego to get removed, and he's allowed to work on his internally to really externally become that much greater.
I never want to lean on my own understanding, because I know my own understanding is going to come from my own past experiences that have created limiting beliefs in my mind.
Correct.
So the more I'm able to, I think, not just rely on God, but people that I trust a lot, that I'm in alignment with, like yourself and the people we have here at the office, it allows me to make better decisions for myself and not my feelings. Because your feelings are not you. Different.
They are. That's big. Think about that for a second. Are your feelings you? Damn.
No, they're what you went through, and then by you going through that, you attach this cloud to it, and then you think it's a part of you, but no, it's not the case at all.
The experience that you went through, and you didn't shed that feeling. You didn't shed it. Like, you shed skin to get reborn. You shed skin to rebirth, right? And hence, he's wearing rebirth, and so am I. And there's a reason for it as well, because, this is our good friend's clothing line. It's a lifestyle brand as well. And not to be off topic, but it does coincide with being reborn, rebirth.
You got to kill that old version of you every single day.
Every single day. Exactly.
Yeah, no, so it resonates.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why we wear it. We wouldn't wear it if it didn't.
Exactly. So, guys, I mean, dude, we can keep going about this, but I think that the impact and the message has been said. And I hope that you guys got something great out of this, because it's second to not, or obviously it's second to being there in that room that Thursday. But we hope that we conveyed it in a way that you guys can take it and understand something in you that you probably didn't understand. And I hope that it's your time to listen to it and you're open to receiving it. And I hope the person that's next to you, in your drive, in your car, sitting in your living room, listening or watching it, I hope the person next to you is going to allow you to listen to this message a little bit different than you would if you were by yourself. So, guys, 100%. Make sure you click that subscribe button, you like it, you share this episode, this message for sure, because more people need to hear this one. If it's anyone that you hear this, it needs to be this one. Period. Everything else will follow, but this internal work in this episode is going to be that much stronger for you and for anyone that you share it to.
Yeah. So, and if there's specific topics I think people want us to talk about, reach out to us, Instagram, Facebook, find our numbers somewhere on Google. I'm sure it's out there.
They are.
Comment on YouTube, ask us questions or topics or guests that you want to see. Other than that, take care, comb your hair.
See you guys. See you in the next one.